Abhishek Sharma, though, because in preparing for today's game and also the one on Wednesday, I came across this stat that Cricket Info put up, which astonished me. And I want to talk about the modern day T20 batter and whether Abhishek Sharma essentially epitomises that. He played for Sunrisers last year. I mean, we've got our own Abhishek in the commentary box. Abhishek Jhunjhunwala. Tell us a little bit about the batter. Then I'll talk about some of these stats. But he's really come to prominence in the last couple of years. And, you know, it's quite hard to come to prominence in T20 cricket as a fast-scoring, big-hitting batter, because that's kind of what everyone does, right? But tell us a little bit about where he comes from and where the game finds him now.
Yeah, I think he comes from Punjab, played a lot of cricket for Punjab in his early years, and again, his mentor is Yuvraj Singh. Everyone is aware of who he is. He's done some wonderful things for India, but again, the last couple of years, what we have seen has amazed us all, because we've all played cricket or watched cricket or been around cricket for a very long time. For somebody of his stature, yeah, he's not a very big guy. He can hit sixes for fun and strike rate, which really amazes me. It's very easy to look at his strike rate and say, oh, yeah, that's how you should bat. To maintain a strike rate of 198 to 200 is ridiculous. And people around the world, there's so many top cricketers who are playing around the world, you'd hardly find anybody who can maintain their strike rate for that long a period. It's very easy to do it in a one-off game, but do it consistently for a year and a half. John, you would know how difficult it is.
It's the consistency, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jarrod, I'll bring you in here because, here, have a look at this. This is Abhishek Sharma's run-scoring record. Now, I think that we're all quite used to, and you can show it to the camera, you can read some of it out yourself, but that's his...
How can the camera see
KT? Essentially, we've moved well on from the, you know, one century needed every 5 innings. Well done, Jarrod. 1 century every 5 innings, batting average of 40. You know, this kind of... We know now it's about strike rate, but it's also about small, impactful innings. And if you have 6 batters like Abhishek Sharma, read out those stats, Jarrod, because this is his run scoring for Sunrisers Hyderabad in the IPL in 2024.
Yeah, he made 32 off 19, 63 off 23, 29 off 20, 37 off 12, 16 off 11, 34 off 22, number one, 46 off 12, 31 off 13, 15 off 9, 12 off 10, 11 off 16, should have been dropped after that one, 75 not out off 28, and 66 off 28. And I think the numbers sound great, but what is really impactful is the guy at the other end. Do you remember who he was?
Some guy... Travis something. I mean, who's called Travis and taken seriously?
And it's easy for a young Indian player to be swamped by a big overseas player in that sort of... What, are you afraid I'm going to send text messages to people or something?
No, I'm not at all.
Harmy, I've always loved you.
I just want... He's used to me sending those.
But he didn't get swamped. And in fact, they ended up becoming... Oh, I've forgotten it. Is it Travishek? Is that what we call him?
Yeah,
or is it
everyone
Abahed?
called him the
I'm not sure.
One of the other stats, and I don't want to make this too stats heavy, but one of the other stats is the balls faced.
Yeah.
He didn't... I'm not saying this is a good thing, by the way, but he didn't face more than 29 deliveries in a single innings. He only had 1 not-outer when he faced 28 balls. He faced 28 balls on 2 occasions. He's the fastest player to 400 runs in a T20 league ever from a batter not facing more than 30 deliveries. So this in isolation is good for a team.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
But if you can get 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them, you're winning.
But that's the reason Sunrisers did what they did in the previous season. They got over 250 4 times in 14 matches, which is just unheard of.
And they basically had one bowler, Natarajan, occasionally Cummins bowling okay. They had no one else, so they had to average like 270 in innings to not lose.
So what is it about Abhishek Sharma's game? I mean, it's easy to say, well, he has a consistency. How do you get the consistency?
I think it's just hours in the skill set. And a lot of times you can practice as much as you want, but you cannot develop that skill set. He obviously has something special, and also the ability to pick up length. If you look at his batting, the way he picks length, I think that's where it makes a difference, which Rohit used to do very early in his career. He still does it sometimes, not as consistent as he used to be. But they have an ability to pick the length a lot earlier than other players, and that's why they could play the shots they can in different parts of the ground. A bit like Rishabh Pant as well. He can pick up length very quickly, and that is something natural. It's very hard to develop that as a cricketer.
The other aspect to this is he's batting in the power play, isn't he? So, but he has batted middle order as well, right? So
yeah, for Punjab he has, yes. But also I think the freedom, as he keep talking about the freedom he's been given, I think he was given the same freedom when he was playing for Sunrisers, and he's been given the same freedom by Surya Kumar Yadav and Gautam Gambhir when he's playing for India. Because for any youngster, you know the competition in India. You don't do well in 2 or 3 games, there are 10 other guys who are ready to slot you in. So to have that backing from the team management is so important to be able to play that brand of cricket.
And that is, again, another key aspect, because you do see players come in and have this kind of impact, and then they start to struggle. I mean, just from an English perspective, if you're an England cricket fans, I'm sure we can all remember how Jason Roy, towards the back end of his career, he was a player that would go in and start hitting the ball from ball one. But of course, the risk-reward aspect of that is huge. So you can have a year or two when it all works for you, and you're getting 3 scores out of 5, maybe 4 scores out of 5. That's incredible consistency. But once you start dropping to maybe 2 and 3, that's when the pressure comes on, and then your natural inclination must be to draw back a little bit, especially when you're playing international cricket as opposed to IPL, when you know you're going to have 14 games or so to get it right.
I think Travis Head's strike rate in Test cricket the first time we played it was about 47, so about Alistair Cook's strike rate. So that was a player that they were like, come in, play your natural game. He didn't make any runs. He went completely into his shell. Imagine Travis Head scoring at a strike rate of 47 now. Like, you know, sometimes it's about maturity, but it's also about when Travis Head came back in, I think they just said to him, look, we don't need someone to average 40 knocking the ball around. We can find other people like that. What we can't find is someone who can hit boundaries off spin and pace almost every delivery. And, you know, I think Abhishek Sharma was sort of being eased in when Rahul Dravid was still coach. And, you know, Rahul Dravid kept saying to that team, we just have to attack. And the one time they didn't, they lost that World Cup in Australia. By the way, Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid think they were right, but they were, the way they were. They're wrong, but it's very rare I would say that, but they were. But the point is, they were moving towards this. And once you get towards that as a mindset, right, then that's what we've seen with the England team, right? Then you say, okay, Zach Crawley, you're going to fail a bunch of times, but we know that you are going to make the 70 that changes the game, and so just go out there and play your game. Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head, and when they were batting together, it was incredible because they have so many places they can hit boundaries. There's no field that you can really set to either of them. And then in Abhishek's case, he hits so many sixes. He's not a big guy or anything, but he hits so many sixes that, again, even if you put the fielders in the right area, he's probably going to hit it over their head.
Also, I think where the difference is in a lot of Indian cricketers and cricketers from around the world is the technical side of it. Because with the Indian cricketers, the way the structure is, you spend so much time working on your technique, making sure the bat's coming down in the right path and hitting straight. If you look at the way the areas Abhishek Sharma hits, it's more or less down the pitch. But if you look at around the world, a lot of players who are power hitters, they go across the line. They don't really tend to hit the ball straight. And that's where I think they get challenged whenever they get into a condition which is not flat, where there's a bit of turn or a bit of movement, they get into trouble. But for the likes of Abhishek Sharma, even if the conditions are a bit different, they have the game to back it up with.
So if you were to put together your top 6 from the world of T20 cricket, would Abhishek Sharma be in your top 6? And if so, who would the other 5 be?
No, I think in the current form, the way he's going, being a youngster, I think definitely he'll be right up there alongside Sanju Samson. The way he's batting in the last year and a half, he's been brilliant form.
Are you talking India or World 11?
World 11.
So you'd have him in head, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Then you probably have him in head, and then it's a typical one. I'll have Surya Kumar Yadav in number 3 because he's a game changer. I'll have Glenn Maxwell at number 5 or 6 because he's a match winner.
Butler? Does Butler get in? I mean, the captaincy's
probably not right at the moment, but you'd still have him within the top 7 or 8.
The conversation.
I mean, him and Henry Klaasen have both just gone through little form dips, right? Whereas not that long ago, they were both automatics. So
Henry Klaasen would have been my first pick.
Yeah.
And I probably
have you seen him in this
the top 6,
T20?
but he is struggling at the moment.
Yeah, he's batting like Jon Norman at the moment.
Oh, so he is in the top 6 then.
But I genuinely feel he's one of the best players of spin I've ever seen, Henry Klaasen. He is just outstanding against spin.
Brilliant stuff.